protecting them, providing to them, and also some guidelines, some policies, like some of them which I've mentioned, like the National Child Policy. So everything that concerns a child is embedded in some of those policies to give direction and guidance on how we can protect our children.
Okay, and then on the issue of child protection, have you had any cases so far as the committee or as the forum, Parliamentary Forum on Children, in regards to violation of children's rights?
A lot, a lot, and we've also been we are in partnership with some child actors, like the Children's Authority, like UNICEF, like Child Fund. And I want to give you an update of reasons. Some 2 weeks back, we had dissemination seminar workshop on giving us the research on child protection. So when you look at the way we are handling issues of children and the way we are treating our children, you find that there are many cases, and some of the cases have come up out of the poor parenting skills. Some parents do not know what they are doing. Some of them, they've been involved in even mistreating their own children. Say cases of defilement, where you hear is a father who has impregnated a daughter. So there is a lot of moral decadence, and many of our parents have neglected their roles, and at the end of the day, it's now the children who are suffering. So we've encountered many challenges of children, more also rape, defilement, child labor. You see a parent mistreating a child, and also apart from that, as a forum, some 1 month back, we even went to the streets of Kampala to check on some of our neglected children who are suffering there on the streets. We have to accept that we have some children who find themselves on the street because of the different reasons. And now when we went there, some of the atrocities, what pains my heart is finding children who are there, but someone is selling them aviation fuels. The fuel for airplanes. We do not have a petrol station anywhere where we sell those fuels. But we have people who have loved money and who have come to look for money even where they cannot look for the money. Because if you get the aviation fuel, a mature person, you get opium, mairunji, so all those drug substances, then you give to children so that you can get money. So my brother, I want to tell you that the children of this country are going through a lot. We've encountered many cases, many parents coming up, crying. But anyway, the policies are in place. We have one challenge, and that is implementation. We've put laws as members of parliament in place. We have Penal Code Act. It stipulates some of the penalties for those offenders. But now the implementation, we talk of lack of money, no funding. So if we have those challenges, but government cannot commit itself to put in money to help fight these vices, then we are doing nothing.
All right. Now, speaking on the budget allocations, we are into a new financial year, 2022-2023, and we've walked like 2 months down already. If you have to look at the budget allocations, how much did government allocate to the children affairs in Uganda?
Now, budgeting in our country, we have what we call the funded priorities and unfunded priorities. I want to give you assurance that the Ugandan child is not on the menu of the money being allocated specifically to fight. If there is anything, then it is meager. If there is anything, then it is disguised. It is there, you cannot isolate it. I want to appreciate government that at least they are trying to do a lot, but we've not done when it comes to children, because children are our inheritance. The children are our future generation. They are the future leaders. So if we do not invest in them, then the output will not be good. So if we want quality citizens, we need to put in money now. We need to invest in. But now as I speak, even last week, like I was telling you, we're trying to scan, to look out for how much is this that government directly puts to the children. Now, the mistake which government has done is to bundle the children with the youth.
Okay.
So now, they get the youth and the children, and they say they've given them a minister. We have children's affairs and the youth under the Ministry of Gender, Labor. And so when you look at the amount, you may think it is much. But when you go deep into scanning how much goes to the children, it's almost nothing. Okay. Because like by 2020, when we scanned, we found that out of the budget of the country, the government allocated only 0.01%. Okay,
give me those figures right again.
0.01%.
That was which year?
2021 to 2022.
Okay.
So this money went to the to child protection. Okay. Like I've told you that children matter and they are our future inheritors. If we don't invest in them, then it means that we shall raise up a weak population, a poor population. So we are running around and saying, we are putting money in education. But how much is it which is going to education? We are putting money in immunization. At least there I want to say bravo to government, that at least the children are being immunized. If you go to the health centers, you will get there at least the vaccines for the 90 killer diseases. So that one is an achievement. But now it is not only health. Yes, the number of children dying at birth or before 5, we are struggling to see that we reduce on it. But it is not only about health. When you go to education, you can look at early childhood. There is no money. So we come up with good ideas, but we do not have the money to fund. So if you want to harness the goodness, to get something good out of a child, then you should invest in the childhood of this child. If the child is poorly fed, if the child is not catered for well, if you do not invest in stimulating the brain of this child below 0 to 5 years, then the end result will be poor, simply because the brain of a child develops in between 0 to at least 5 there. So there, by 5 years, a child is able to comprehend, to understand, to do what. So what you put in is what will remain there. But now when you got like outside the country, how many children are we seeing who are stunted, who are malnourished, who are wasted? So that means that our priority as government, we've not put in money to tap that potential. And that means that these children, when they grow up, obviously we shall not get anything good out of it. That is why, as I speak now, my brother, you can see moral decadence and child dropout. Like when you go to schools. We were with the president some few months back in the State of the Nation address. And he was saying out of the 100, it's like around 38 who reach P7. Where are the rest? So if we know that the completion rate of even the P7 is poor, then why can't we deliberately put money in education, put it there, at least that we can harness that potential. But if we just talk about these challenges, completion rate is poor, what is that government has done? We continue putting the drop. Like early childhood, there is completely no money. We say we want to raise good citizens, but we've not invested. So when it comes to the youth and children, we bundle them together. So now the money pretends to be there for the children's affair when it is going to the youth, like in the youth livelihood schemes. So a lot of money goes back, but we have more than 55% of the children. Our country has the youngest population, almost second in Africa. So if we have the youngest population, but we've not invested in it deliberately. So as I speak now, you talked of how much goes to the children. I can able tell you that we do not have that specific good deliberate amount of money which we put there directly to children. So when you go and try to scan, then you will see that again, even the little which is there goes to the youth, to empower youth, in to give them capacity, like we are talking, want the youth to work.
Okay.
But you've left the youth to be wasted at an early stage. Do you think that at after childhood you will tap anything good when you've not invested in the child at the early stage?
Honorable, my view would want to know if the children get these funds, for example, if the government allocates these funds directly to the children, what are they going to solve? Where does this money head to?
Now, my opinion is that if we want to tap into the potential of children, okay, let us deliberately put money more so in child protection.
Okay.
Now, what do I mean when I talk of child protection? I've told you of the challenges that children go through. But when you go down to the structures that are supposed to implement and fight for the rights of children, like the probation officers, do they have the funding? So when there is a case of defilement, a parent will run to the police station, but they will say, bring the fuel. Then they will say, we only have one surgeon at the region, so your child should go there and then get a letter to confirm that surely this was defilement. But where they are referring this parent to go to the surgeon, it's very far. So they will end up saying, can you bring money so that we can help you? Now with this poverty which we have in the country, those people in Namayingo deep down there, those people who are struggling and sleeping hungry, can they afford to get money to go and process? And at times, even when these cases are taken to court, there is no justice. Justice delayed is justice denied.
All right.
So someone goes there, but the cases are not there, and at times these people are left to come back to the communities, and at the end of the day, these people are tortured. Okay. So as a forum, we are also seeing a gap in a witness protection bill. Okay. So we are trying to come up with a witness protection bill.
What does it intend to address?
So witness protection bill will intend to protect the witnesses.
Because of the children, or basically children?
Majorly our concern as a forum is on children. Because if this child has been defiled, the child will be put in court with even the offender, with other people, and there is a way they can intimidate, and so people end up pulling others. I will not testify. This is a big person. This one is rich. They will instead take me, and that has happened. Those who are well off, they have suppressed the poor. So when we put in place a bill to protect the witnesses, then someone will know I have a law which protects me. So we are trying to scan and see how can we help save the situation. But as I speak now, the children are still struggling.
Okay. All right. And children still struggling. Before we break into a commercial in here, I want at least to understand as well, what are some of the challenges that the children have been facing that you've been sharing on the forums, on the different government forums?
Majorly, we've been struggling with seeing how we can reduce teenage pregnancy.
Okay. Because
that one has escalated. It has been there, but it escalated during COVID-19, where you see a child of 10, 11 years bearing another child. Sincerely speaking, do you expect that family to be of quality? Can they be people who can even pay taxes to government? Can you expect anything good out of such a family? So you really see that with when it comes to early teenage pregnancies, we've even moving around in the region, trying to talk to the leaders, trying to bring together the religious leaders. It is a collective effort. But mainly, what has brought all those challenges, my problem is with the parents. Okay. We've not embraced good parenting methods. We've neglected children, left them to the maids, left them to the TVs. Okay. We now have the smartphones. We've embraced the Western life, but it is killing us. Because some of us, when we were growing up, radio was for the father. phone, how do you access it anyway, even when your father doesn't have it? So there are good things, practices, but if we do not, as parents, guide our children, then we are missing a mark.
All right. National budget and children, big discussion that we're actually having in-house this morning, and we are going to steadily broaden it bigger and better. Now, quick ones in here, and some of the key highlights that we've had in the morning is that Honorable Margaret has been able to highlight that the Ugandan child is not on the menu of the priorities in the budget allocations. If there is, then it's minor. Then also on the other issue, he has actually highlighted the issue that the government bundled the children and the youth together. So this makes it very difficult for the two to get different allocations, and at least better allocations, I should say. And clearly, these are discussions that we are looking at greatly to see how the allocations for the children in the country, are they better for them? Are they making it easier for the parents or for the children in Uganda, for the childhood of our children? And of course, for those parents who are not able to raise their children that much. Okay, more discussions are coming up after the break. Stick around. This is Smart Men's Business.